What if one single choice, made in comfort, could slowly lead you away from everything God intended for you? Before the fire fell from heaven, before the city turned to ashes, there was a man named Lot, and a choice that seemed harmless at first. This is not just a story of destruction. It is a story of drifting, of hesitation, and of a heart that looked back when it should have fled forward. And before we begin, if you want to discover more powerful and timeless stories from the Bible, subscribe to Bible Wisdom Collective and walk with us through Scripture, one story at a time. Lot and Abraham. The first choice. Lot was the nephew of Abraham, a man chosen by God and guided by promise. Together, they journeyed through unfamiliar lands, blessed with growing wealth and countless flocks. But prosperity brought tension. Their herds grew so large that the land could no longer support both of them. Abraham, the elder, offered Lot the first choice. "If you go to the left, I will go to the right," Abraham said. Lot lifted his eyes and saw the plain of the Jordan, green, fertile, and well-watered, like the garden of the Lord. In the distance lay the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, thriving and prosperous. The Bible tells us something subtle, yet crucial. The men of Sodom were exceedingly wicked and sinful against the Lord. But Lot did not look at the hearts of the people. He looked at the land, and he chose Sodom. At that moment, Lot did not move into the city. He pitched his tents near Sodom, not inside, just close enough. That is often how compromise begins. From tents to gates. Time passed. Lot's tents moved closer. Eventually, he was no longer near the city. He was inside it. Scripture later shows Lot sitting at the city gate, a place of leadership and authority. He had integrated. He had adapted. He had settled. Lot was not ignorant of Sodom's wickedness. He was disturbed by it. Yet he remained comfortable enough to stay. And then, one evening, everything changed. The visit of the angels. 2 angels arrived at Sodom at dusk. Lot saw them and insisted they stay in his home. He sensed danger, even if he had grown used to it. That night, the men of the city surrounded Lot's house, demanding to harm the visitors. The darkness of Sodom revealed itself fully. Lot stood at the door, torn between protecting his guests and living among people who no longer respected righteousness. It was then that the angels revealed the truth. Sodom would be destroyed, and Lot had to leave, immediately. Hesitation in the face of mercy. Lot gathered his family, but his sons-in-law laughed at the warning. They thought it was a joke. Morning came. The angels urged Lot, his wife, and his 2 daughters to flee. Yet the Bible records a striking detail. But he lingered. Even as judgment approached, Lot hesitated. The angels took him by the hand. Mercy pulled him out when his own resolve could not. "Do not look back," they warned. "Do not stop anywhere in the plain." Lot's wife. The look back. As they fled toward the mountains, fire and sulfur began to rain from the sky. Sodom burned behind them, and then Lot's wife looked back. One glance, one moment. She turned into a pillar of salt. The Bible does not tell us her name, but her action speaks louder than 1,000 words. She did not merely glance out of curiosity. She looked back with longing. Her heart was still in Sodom. She had left physically, but not inwardly. Jesus himself later said, "Remember Lot's wife," a warning, brief and eternal. Aftermath, a broken ending. Lot survived, but survival is not the same as victory. He ended up in a cave, afraid to live in the city he had once chosen. His wealth was gone. His wife was gone. His legacy was scarred by sorrow and shame. Lot was saved, but barely. The story closes quietly, leaving us with a haunting truth. Choosing comfort over calling never feels dangerous until it is too late. The lesson we cannot ignore. Lot's story is not about sudden rebellion. It is about slow compromise knowing the truth. And Lot's wife reminds us that even when God rescues us, our hearts must follow our feet. This story asks us uncomfortable questions. Where have we settled when we were meant to journey? What are we holding on to that God has already called us to leave behind? Are we walking forward, or secretly longing for what we escaped? If this story spoke to you, like this video, share it with someone who needs reflection, and leave a comment. What part of Lot's story struck you the most? Your engagement helps spread these timeless biblical stories to more hearts. And don't forget to subscribe to Bible Wisdom Collective for more powerful stories, deep reflections, and enduring wisdom from Scripture.